All right, everyone. Early 2020 election analysis time as Tulsi Gabbard says, yeah, she's in. She's running for the presidency in 2020. She's officiating it. It's not like Biden's considering it. Warren is exploring it. Gabbard's like, no, I'm running. Trust me. I'll tell you, I think, why she decided to get in now. I think her hand was forced a little. With Warren forming an exploratory committee, there's no better time to be the first mainline female candidate to actually announce that they're running. Because remember, Warren there for a week got all sorts of attention just by forming an exploratory committee, even though she's not really viable. I think that the Democratic insiders know that Warren can't win. Tulsi Gabbard, though, enjoys a higher general reputation among centrists. She's younger, she's less combative, less easily antagonized. Has a lot of maybe out-of-party style backing, but here's why I don't think she can win. She's both female and an ethnic minority, and she's a practicing Hindu. What does this mean for Rust Belt Democrat voters? What does this mean for more religious centrist voters? Ultimately, they're going to consider her too far out there. She's too excited. I hate to say this, but the DNC is going to look at her and say, well, it's too exotic. Now, we can have the first female president or another minority president, racial minority, maybe a gay president, but we can't have all of the above. First Hindu president. Marks too many firsts from within the party. It won't work. There are too many people. You got to realize that the Democratic Party is run by old white men, too. It's not as the Republicans. They make a big show. Oh, my God, we have so many women in Congress, and they're all like Democrats. No, you're not a diverse party. Ultimately, you're the same old, boys club anyway. This has been a frequent criticism of them. I think the problem is that Gabbard, because of the structure of the way the party works, would be forced to talk constantly about, hey, I'm a Hindu. I'm the first non-Christian or secularist president. Isn't it wonderful? By the way, I've got ovaries. And unlike Hillary Clinton, I think hers probably still work. Hey, I'm wonderful. I'm fairly young. I'm an ethnic minority. She would have to talk constantly about these things, and that would sink her campaign because it would begin to look preachy. The problem is, it'll work for sort of the core groups of the Democrats, but let's say that I'm in the Rust Belt, Union Democrat or something. My main concern is money. Trump has given me tax relief, talks at least a big game about reining in foreign states on trade deals, guarding the border, and all the things that I want to hear. Gabbard comes along and says, well, yeah, I kind of agree with some of that or something, but I'm not going to put forth any specific proposals, because then Trump will lambaste them because they'll inevitably be weaker. Because I'm a Democrat, Gabbard will try to walk that thin tightrope, essentially between the left and right, and be conciliatory. That's exactly the wrong strategy to use against a Donald Trump. No, if the Democrats want to win, they need someone more combative. Not Elizabeth Warren combative, not gets hot under the collar when personally insulted combative. You need someone who's a firebrand who's going to take the fight to Trump. Is Gabbard going to be able to do that from a vaguely center-left position? I don't know. And Gabbard, of course, enjoys a higher appeal among military voters and stuff. It's more sane than some Democrats, but she is an open borders believer. Essentially, that's going to hurt her, at least with the centrist that she wants to target. And any Democrat that runs, they're going to have to be like a fiscal conservative. They're going to have to be a blue dog, essentially, to match toe-to-toe with Trump, at least on money issues, unless you have a major economic downturn. Do you think that that's going to happen? Yeah, I don't see any indicators of that. It was funny, by the way, if you look at the crypto market or precious metals, they go up when the markets are going down. So like Bitcoin and all this stuff started to recover there when the economy was shuddering. Now it's starting to climb back up, and of course the prices are falling again. So it's like you should definitely have some hedge against a bad economy, I suppose. Probably multiple hedges. You can also invest in seeds and having a piece of land, and you can grow your own grocery store. It tastes better too. Just trust me. Now, Tulsi Gabbard's running. So it's another person that's officially in. This is the first the first mainstream Democrat that is announced officially, yes, I'm in. Warren and Biden are suspected to be running. I would say there's a really great chance at least one of them runs. The problem is that ideologically they would clash so much. I think Warren, this is a stopgap against Warren too. Because Warren's going to look and say, okay, I've got this other female candidate in. She's got name recognition. She's got some centrist support. She's younger than me. She's probably going to debate better than I can. Maybe I shouldn't bother. maybe I shouldn't bother wasting my time. I'm already a senator. I'm sort of an A-list within the Democrats. I can keep being sort of the gadfly of the more racist Republicans and keep talking about my Native American recipe book or whatever. And I can have my good career and my money and everything because Elizabeth Warren's massively wealthy. I'll let Gabbard do it. The thing is that there are other female candidates like Gillibrand I suspect will run that will throttle one another. That's what's going to happen. You're about to see a huge amount of infighting, and it's going to turn ugly. And it's going to alienate a lot of those progressive voters when they realize that these Democrats are really more about words than they are about actually putting them into action. Because they're going to have to go after one another's record on women's rights and things like that in order to try to throttle one another. Oh, it's going to be a hilarious primary season. You're going to see, I would suspect, you probably won't get more than 3 technically viable female candidates. 3. If you have much more than that, it's too much of a clown car and destabilizes everything. I suspect that the rest will be male. Some people that they keep talking about, like Bloomberg. I don't think Bloomberg's crazy enough to run. Again, old, rich, white dude. It's not going to match up to, from New York City, no less. I don't think that's a very good matchup for Donald Trump. That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's like, oh, we need our massive multi-billionaire to defeat evil, rich Trump because he can self-fund. I just don't know what that accomplishes, though, at this point. On economic issues, Trump is #1. You got to go after him on domestic issues, at least to some degree, and things like that. The Democrats don't really have a lot of arrows in their quiver, and if they try to load it up with our with our candidate is a religious minority and a woman, that's not going to look very good to a lot of voters. In fact, I think it would alienate more female voters than Clinton did. I think it would begin to alienate racial minorities, even those that vote based on that wedge issue within the Democratic Party insofar as they're not far left on everything else. I think it would alienate them. I think that Trump would do far better among virtually any voting demographic if it were someone like Gabbard running, simply because, yes, indeed, a lot of those Democrats, what are they? They're white males. Just like most of the country is comprised of people who are not part of these groups that are minorities. That's why they're called minorities. Well, then when you play up to these groups, if you do it and you do it incorrectly, you can lose easily. That's 80s, 90s style identity campaigning has begun to die off in the internet era. It's as simple as that. Because before it was like, oh, this person is so wonderful, they love, these inner city children or whatever. Now it's more, oh, they're opportunistically using, the race card in order to get elected, after which they will do nothing because their track record is Googleable, and none of these people have really done anything. It's the name of the game for the Democrats. That's about all. Peace out.